Hey mamas, it's Krista Noel, founder of the Intuitive Divorce, and I'm popping on here straight after another beautiful class with my beautiful team member, Master Coach Joe Young. And all I can say is it's really interesting, or maybe not so interesting, that class really has been revolving. Many of our classes, most of our classes lately have been revolving around relationships between mothers and their children navigating the messiness of divorce. And in our beautiful sacred container, the moms are at very different stages. Some of them haven't yet told their spouses that they want a divorce, and some are well within the weeds, separated and just contending with the messiness of the ensuing co-parenting and all the complexities that can come with that. But at the core of that really is this mama that's suffering while she's really trying to make big decisions in her life. Because when you're going through a divorce, which I often say is not Disneyland, and nobody needs to be reminded of that, we of course know that. But when you're going through that, when you're trying to show up for all the tough stuff and you've got your own overwhelm and your own anxiety and your own sleepless nights and your own self-doubt, the last thing that you want is to have any angst with your kids. And it's really unfortunate because sometimes the co-parenting doesn't go so well, particularly in the negotiations. Sometimes parents are weaponizing. One parent will weaponize or use the kids as messengers or, make them privy to information that they shouldn't be made, accessible to, but they are, and they have reactions. And then what I often say to moms is like, hey, everybody's having big feelings about this, including your kids. Whether you're talking to them or not, they are picking up on the energy of the house. They are picking up on your energy. They're picking up on the energy of what's going on all around them. They've got big feelings and they need a place to park them. And again, I know that just seems like it's one more thing on your plate, which feels like it's not fair and it's wrong and you can't deal with it all right now. But what if we could just reframe that for a moment and say, yeah, it's a lot. It's absolutely a lot, but this is my opportunity to reorganize and reestablish what I want my house to look and feel like, what I want, how I want to show up for my kids, how I want to relate to them, what I want to model for them. And in particular, we have a lot of moms, and this is near and dear to my heart because I'm a boy mom. But, for moms going navigating divorce with messy divorces with contentious partners, you know, it's almost like we have this opportunity to raise conscious men. Something else is being modeled in the home, but we want to show them that that's not what a healthy relationship looks like. That's not the way we treat each other. That's not the way we talk to each other. That's not what love looks like. So again, I know this is a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. We don't have to, certainly can't unpack it all today, but I want you to know that you're showing up for this, being aware of it and dealing with it right now, even when it feels like it's too much, even when it feels like it's just, you're at capacity. This is the absolute most important time to be dealing with it. And in the end of the day, the more you deal with this, the more the chaos dissipates.
Yeah, yeah. Said so many good things there. And I want to go back to energy for a second because you were saying even when it's not about words, kids pick up on the energy of what's in the house. And just a reminder, even if you're not going through divorce, all these years, the kids have been picking up on the energy of the house. So yes, it's a beautiful opportunity to go, you know what? Maybe the energy hasn't been the best in the past. Maybe we haven't modeled what it is to be in a healthy relationship. Obviously, if you're here, most likely that's the case. But now is your chance. You do get to change the story for them. You do get to rewrite it. And just like with kids, I'll say to moms often, would you ever say to your kid, hey, you messed up and there's no forgiveness or start overs or do overs or grace in anything? Of course you wouldn't. So why do we do that to ourselves? This is a really beautiful starting place to get very clear about what it is that you want your house to look and feel like, just like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So we say often to our moms, kids will learn so much more from what they are modeled, so much more from how they feel than anything we will ever say to them. So creating a really open, communicative, loving, nurturing space, even in this difficult time, is such a game changer. And we've spent a lot of time talking about that right now because we have a lot of moms that are in this real crucial, pivotal point with their children. And there's nothing more important that you will navigate through than how you handle all of these conversations with your children,
Mm-hmm.
allowing them to be a part of your humanity in this. What does that mean? Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and say sometimes, hey, I don't have all the answers right now. Yeah, I know this is tough. Yeah, I know you're mad at me and it's okay. And setting boundaries at the same time about what you're allowing to take place in your household.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's good time Charlie with dad sometimes. And maybe mom has to play the heavy at times. And that's okay. It's like being very clear about the communication and about what it is that you want to model for your children going forward will make all the difference for them.
The bottom line is it's the same for us, it's the same for kids. Actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
Actions speak louder than words. And I know that moms are so anxious to just like create these calm and peaceful and loving homes. But there was a runway to here. And there are a lot of feelings that
Mm-hmm.
have to be dealt with. And it's going to take a little bit of time to sort out, and that's okay. But the more you can create a solid foundation, the more you can create consistency, the more you can create safety for your kids, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
how,
Big one.
exactly. And it's like, and just the mere fact that kids are going to be transitioning from home to home. I even was bringing that up in class today and saying like, hey, transition isn't really easy for anybody. I mean, like, think about adults that are away on vacation. We've just come back from this, like, fantastic, European vacation, and we like head home and it's like, oh, back to my routine, back to work tomorrow, whatever it is. It's like, it takes a little bit of time to just get back into your rhythm. So remember, they're just little kids. They're just kids going between two homes, trying to navigate what life is going to look and feel like. And the best place to start is just keeping it calm and consistent and create some structure around it. Simplicity. Think about how you want the house to look and feel, and how do you want to feel in it, and how do you want to interact with your kids, and how do you want to show up for them. So, for example, they come back on a Sunday. What could I do that just creates kind of like the predictability? Like going back into mom's house is like getting a hug. I walk into the house and we have dinner together. And then maybe we like sit and we talk about our weekend and we get ready for bed or whatever it is, whatever your routine is, but create this structure, create this predictability so that they're not feeling like frazzled and harried and, they've got enough going on. And that will calm not only their nervous systems, but your own. And it's
Yeah.
such an important thing. And that is why we're always beating the drum of self care and beating the drum of self care from the standpoint of understanding that you're in this for a while. We never know what the twists and the turns are going to be, how long this divorce is going to play out. You might have to get rid of your attorney and find a new one. The courts might be backlogged. There's so many different things can get thrown into the mix, so many curveballs. And you've got to be able to ride this wave. And the best way to be able to do this is to position yourself, nurture yourself, get support, take care of yourself so that you can show up and you're not this frazzled mess. And that might mean like taking some things off your plate. It might mean like, bringing, your life in a little bit right now, constricting it just for a short period of time to protect it. This is temporary. You have to start becoming clear not only about what do I want in the divorce? in terms of like assets and co-parenting and settlements. What do you want? What do you want life to look and feel like? All of these things are part and parcel of getting through this process in the best possible condition that you can be in and getting your kids through it. And like Joe just said so beautifully, just maybe just looking at some of the things, again, not with a judgmental mind. Don't guilt yourself, don't condemn yourself. Just be, well, actually celebrate the fact that you see things now and you're like, wow, just be curious, like, wow, I reacted to this in a certain way, or I really don't want to show up in this way anymore. And I want to change these behaviors and um, I want to be more present. I want to be more conscious. I want to be able to set healthy boundaries. Whatever it is for you, celebrate the fact that you're here now knowing I want to make some changes. And I know those changes are going to be good for me, and they're going to be good for my kids, and they're going to be good for my future. Certainly going to be good for your divorce.
Yeah. And awareness is the first step. So, yay, you for noticing.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
and listen, we're in class every week. And again, I love this space. I love where women, I mean, we ended class today where we always try to like end on a positive note because we never know where it's going to go and what's going to get unpacked. But now the moms are actually saying, okay, I need you to be my accountability partners. This is what my goal is for the week. I need you guys to support me. It's kind of like a room full of dream keepers. We're always bolstering each other back up, really talking through and strategizing and workshopping various scenarios that come up, particularly with kids, particularly with contentious exes, but also about this is what my goal is for the week. This is what my dream is for the week. This is how I'm going to take care of myself so that I can take care of my kids, so that I can take care of my divorce. And it's such a beautiful community. And, we unpacked a lot today.
Yeah, we really partner together with all of them so that they stay on track, so that their divorce stays on track. And, that ends up saving a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
So these moms offer really incredible resources to each other.
Hmm.
And then we get to stand beside them and partner in that and hold them together and hold them accountable. And it's really, really beautiful work.
And the other thing is, remember, as I said a few minutes ago, there was a runway here, a long runway to here. Not everything is going to change instantly. So we'll unpack some scenarios in class. And, even when we start to make momentum, we still realize that we're still repeating a certain pattern. And then that pattern gets called out in class and we recognize it. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm still doing that. I see that now. It's just another piece. It's just reminding me I'm not quite finished with that yet, but I see it. We see the transformation from week to week and month to month. And it does take a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time to exhale, to show up for yourself, to feel safe, to know that I am initiating change. I am transforming. I may not be at the end of my divorce, but I am allowing my healing. I am divorcing smarter. I'm healing faster. I'm protecting my kids. And you know what? I'm reclaiming my life. And there's
Yeah.
nothing more beautiful than that.
Yeah. You talked about some of the things that we don't have control over, but this is the one thing you do. You can step in and learn how to take care of yourself. You can step in and be supported. You can step in and take a small step towards the divorce that you want at the end of the day. And you don't
Mhm.
have to do it alone, which is what we love about this group so much. So, yeah, I think this is a great place to end. Phenomenal class, phenomenal mamas. They just keep growing and shifting and changing. And we get the privilege of watching that week after week after week. And it's really, really moving and empowering and a great reminder that we're never stuck. We're
Mhm.
never stuck. There are always things that we can do to move ourselves forward, move our lives forward, and create these beautiful futures that we're also deserving of.
And I want to say one thing also. We recognize that a lot happens in a week to week, from class to class, from day to day when you're in a divorce with curveballs being thrown your way and your kids and their feelings and your feelings and everyone's opinions. Like there's a lot of life that goes on. But what we want you to know is that in the messiness of all of this, you get to be alive. You get to feel joy. You get to enjoy this present moment with your kids. And it's a really important thing to seize. Don't just think because I'm in this divorce, I know it's difficult. I'm not trying to, wrap a sparkly bow around it, but know that you can live while you're going through divorce. Your children are only going to be this age once. You are not only modeling for them what it shows up, what it looks like to show up for yourself and to stand in the conviction of the things that you believe, but also that we can do hard things, that we can navigate adversity, and we can do it with grace, and we can still have fun. It is possible. You can live during divorce, and you've got little ones counting on you. So I really encourage you in whatever way you can, whatever resonates with you, know that you don't have to do this alone, that you can show up for yourself. And when you show up for yourself, as Joe said a few moments ago, it absolutely impacts everything else. The condition that you're in, the condition your children are in, and the condition that your divorce will be in when you reach the final finish line. So we just want to encourage you in whatever way possible. We
Mhm.
hope that you are inspired by the intuitive divorce, by all of the newsletters we put out, by our app, by our social media, by our strategies, by our tools, and by our love, because I have walked in your shoes through a very messy and contentious divorce. I know what it looks, feels like, and those are some uncomfortable shoes. But I also know that I wish this program had been around when I was going through my divorce. And I wish this group was around so that I didn't have to just like wobble and figure it out on my own. And, we've got our resident Joe here who just really helps us establish our healthy boundaries and also, most importantly, the importance of calming your nervous system and also imparting those tools on your own children, which is so amazing. Just so amazing. I often think like, if only I had learned this stuff when I was a kid. If only someone had taught me that.
But it's
So
never too late.
it's never too late. It's definitely never too late. And so that's why I also like lean into your humor, lean into your spirit, lean into the peace and joy that's there waiting for you. Like you can do that while navigating divorce. So, anyway, we're going to just leave you with that. And there is a better path to a better divorce, and it's an intuitive divorce. And we hope to hear from you. We hope to inspire you, and we hope to let you feel less alone in all of this. So, check us out at intuitivedivorce.com, and we're only a phone call away.
Yeah. Till next week.
Till next week, thank you for a beautiful class.
Yes, you too. See you soon.